All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. Now, yesterday, the Chicago Bears made the decision to give a contract extension to general manager Ryan Poles, which now goes through 2029. There are some people who are in favor of this move, and of course, there are others who are against it. But at the end of the day, for me, I can totally understand both sides of this argument. Now, in 3 years under polls, the Bears' record is just 15 and 36, with a pair of last place finishes in the NFC North and zero playoff appearances. Overall, the Bears have four consecutive double digit losing seasons heading into the 2025 campaign. Now, after drafting quarterback Caleb Williams first overall last year, the expectation going into the 2024 season for the Bears was that they were going to have themselves an immediate turnaround. That clearly was not the case. We saw Chicago struggle on offense all throughout the season, which included them being 31 or 31st rather in passing in the NFL for the season. Now, there were some changes for the Bears. They brought in Ben Johnson to be their head coach. But nonetheless, say whatever you want, things have to change for this Chicago Bears team. Bears fans have been sitting by and they had to sit by last year, okay, and watch the other three tenants of the NFC North make the postseason. And in the process, all of those teams took turns beating up on Chicago as the Bears only went 1-5 against them. The Bears do need some stability. And like I said, they just hired Ben Johnson, the former Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, to be their new head coach. And there is hope that Ben Johnson will be able to get the most out of Caleb Williams and this offense. Say what you want to say, but nonetheless, there's always a need when it comes to the National Football League to have the general manager and the head coach on the same page. And honestly, it's like that basically in all sports, okay? But nonetheless, this is Ryan Poles' guy who he brought into Chicago. And I just feel like the Bears organization rather is just showing a commitment there. But on the flip side of this thing, all right, if the Bears have themselves another losing season, if they have themselves another double digit losing season and miss the playoffs for the upcoming campaign, everything that I just said is out of the window because the football fans in the Windy City are getting restless and they want blood. There's not a, there are some people out there who are not thrilled about the Bears, giving Ryan Poles this extension. So I look at it like this. Let's just say, sake for the sake of argument, Bears go out there, they have themselves another bad season, and the decision is made to move on from Ryan Poles, and this is without giving him an extension. Now you've got a GM that's coming in that's got to work with a head coach and a quarterback who he didn't bring in. Okay. So at least at this point, I think that they're giving Ryan Poles, the benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, he hasn't done the best job drafting so far. Let's see if this 2024 class works out. And at the end of the day, they've got to fix the offensive line because remember, going back to last season, and that was a key for this Bears offense. Caleb Williams was sacked 68 times. That offensive line was in shambles. And I don't care who you have at the skill positions. If you can't protect your franchise quarterback, it's not going to amount to a hill of beans. And in this case, that's going to be one Caleb Williams. All of this falls into the seat of Ryan Poles. He's got to go out there. He's got to put the pieces in place. He's got to draft and bring the guys in that are going to be able to help fix that offensive line. I know that the Bears made the trade this offseason with the Kansas City Chiefs to acquire Joe Thuney. Of course, Thuney is a four-time Super Bowl champ on that offensive line, first with the New England Patriots, and then secondly with the Kansas City Chiefs. But nonetheless, they've got to find a way to get that fixed. And if the Bears don't, There's a lot of people in Chicago that are going to be looking at Ryan Poles, and also there's going to be a lot of people in that are looking at this organization for giving Ryan Poles the extension to begin with. So that's going to be the key. Are the Bears finally ready to get ahead of this thing and turn things around? Okay, and the other key is, will the Bears' commitment to Ryan Poles pay off? I'm not here to say yes, and I'm not here to say no. Only time will tell. But the bottom line is they've got to get it turned around. And I think the biggest thing for me, Poles' draft picks have to come through, especially on the offensive line. 68 sacks ain't gonna get it done again this season. They're gonna ruin Caleb Williams before his NFL career truly starts. And I know that Ben Johnson was brought in to get the most out of him. He inherits talent at the skill position, but like I said, that Bears offensive line has to get fixed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. For me, like I said before, I could see both sides of the argument as far as giving Ryan Poles the extension and not giving the Ryan Poles the extension. But like I always say, it's not just quarterbacks that this the statement that I'm about to make, attaches to. It's quarterbacks, it's head coaches, and it's general managers. And at the end of the day, we don't care about the stats. The only stat that matters for those three positions on a football team is the win and loss column. And right now, Ryan Poles is 15-36 as a Bears GM, zero playoff appearances. Like I said, three straight double-digit losing seasons. Sports fans, the football fans in Chicago don't want to hear that. They want wins on Sunday afternoon. So let's just see if the Bears' commitment to Ryan Poles indeed will pay off. But, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw on this podcast, you know what to do. Please feel free to hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. I can't say it enough. It is greatly appreciated. Also, if you are on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. And that also goes for Instagram, where you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can check us out at the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, and I'm saying thanks once again for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.